So hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to this edition of Soccer Hub Talks. My name is Ricardo Almeida. I'm the CEO and founder of Soccer Hub. As you know, Soccer Hub is an online education platform for soccer scouts, soccer analysts, soccer coaches. Please visit us and find a bit more about the kind of content that we offer. Today, we'll be having another Soccer Hub Talks. But before we start, I would like you please to click on the like button if everything is okay with the audio and the video. And also please introduce some information about yourselves on the chat box so we can have a bit more of idea about who is watching this webinar. Also, as you know, this is a live event, so you will be able to ask questions to our speaker. Just once again, write it on the chat box that we will select some, okay? So today, the subject is position striker. We are here with Edgaras Jankauskas. He's a soccer coach and former international soccer player. And the panel is, as usual, hosted by Nuno Milheiro. I will get both of them very soon in this panel. Hello, Edgaras. I'll go Nuno.
Hello, Ricardo. Hi, Edgaras. Hello.
Okay, guys. See you in about 1 hour. Okay, Nuno. Bye-bye.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Ricardo.
1 hour.
Yeah, maybe more. Usually I take more. Okay. Thank you. First of all, hello, everyone, and thank you for being with us again. As you see, we have Edgaras Jankauskas, a great legend and a great guest, and he's part of the Lithuanian Soccer Hall of Fame. And that he wrote, and he keeps writing history in the sport, not only in his country. Edgaras played in 10 different countries during his career, and it's unanimous, the admiration that and respect that everybody has for him in all of them, all the countries where he played, all the teams, not only for his skills inside the pitch, but also, and most important of all, for his human side and his professionalism that he also always showed, like as a player and as a coach. He won, among other trophies, he won one Europa League and one Champions League. What I believe, it's the only Lithuanian player to achieve that in soccer history. I don't know if I'm right, but Edgaras can confirm in a second. And he played 56 times for his national team, also being a reference for the following generations. After finishing his player career, he started his coaching career at Lokomotiv Moscow in Russia as assistant coach, and after that also as assistant coach in Hearts in Scotland, and finally he became the head coach of the first team of Trakai in Lithuania, and finally he became the national team manager coach for Lithuania. That I believe it's a dream, to represent your national team as a player and as a coach. Thank you very much for being here with us, Edgaras, and thank you for accepting straight away my invitation. Is a big pleasure, and the admiration I have for you. First of all, let's start. So, can you tell us what you are doing currently? Are you still linked to soccer at the moment, and how you're doing?
Hi, first of all. At the moment, I'm on, let's say, holidays, because it's good weather in our country. And I'm not currently linked with any of professional teams. But, of course, I'm not wasting my time. I'm still interested in the football, in the surrounding of football, and having those possibilities like internet. You can always develop yourself. You can work on your human skills, as you mentioned, which is very important in any sport. So keeping myself fit and looking forward to be involved more than I am right now.
Thank you. So keeping yourself fit, who knows if you come back to play, no? In a good shape. like you were confessing before we started. So yeah, is that true that you are the only Lithuanian player that won a Europa League and the Champions League? Am I correct?
Yes, you are.
Okay.
I guess. We have another player, David Chambers. He
Yeah.
has won Europa League with the CSKA Moscow, and I guess in the final they beat Sporting Lisbon in Alvalade Stadium.
Yeah,
You might remember that.
Maybe we can skip that.
That's true.
Yeah, maybe we can skip that part. No, I'm joking. Yeah, of course. So you won the Europa League. It was in 2005, I believe. That Sporting was managed by José Peseiro, and that great team, and the Sporting lost home match. Things that happened. CSK also had a great team, if you remember well. Don't know. Edgaras, can you see me well? I think we have.
I lost you for a little, but
Okay.
I'm trying to restore connection and sound.
Okay, if you want, you can go out and come inside again. And guys, please ask your questions also in the comments, and we'll keep going in a second. Things that happen.
Yeah, I'm trying to reestablish the sound.
Yeah. Okay.
Can you hear me? No.
Yeah. I think
because I cannot hear you by my AirPods.
Okay. Now that's fine. That's perfect. Now I can see you and I can hear you. Perhaps.
Can I leave you and come in?
That's fine.
Because I think I have to.
Don't worry.
Because I cannot hear you by my.
Okay. Just go out and come back in. That's fine. So yeah, these things happen, technical things, and so like I said, guys, please ask your questions. We are talking about the subject today is position striker, but we'll be talking also about other things, about Lithuanian football, and also then you can visit also our website and check our courses, and we have courses for coaches, for scouts also, and other kind of content. So we are always welcome to visit. So we have Edgaras back. Yeah, so you're back. That's great. So Edgaras, you said that Sporting lost and the connection was lost also. So it's better. Yeah. So can you share with us interesting things? So how it started for you, football? You know that is, if I'm right, in Lithuania, and I know quite well the reality in Lithuania, also in the countries that surround Lithuania. It's a market that I particularly like, and country that I particularly like the people and many things there. But basketball is the main sport in there. Soccer is not the main sport. So how it started? Yeah, it's the same. Yeah. Can you hear still?
Yeah, I can hear you by phone because every time someone rings me, it cuts my AirPods.
That's what it is, you know.
Let's try to talk this way.
Okay. Yeah, like I was saying, I believe in Lithuania, basketball is more popular than soccer. Yeah. So how it started for you, especially at the time, you know, when you were younger, possibly soccer was not so popular like in these times. Everything improves, and you have, of course, you have more people, more young kids that want to play soccer. So how it started for you? Can you share with us? Did you play any other sports? You started straight away on soccer. How it was, and what age?
When I started soccer or football, we call it in Europe, the football had much more meaning for a country than it has right now. So because our main football force was Žalgiris Vilnius, and this team participated in the Russian league, in the Soviet Union league, which was much more competitive than let's say Lithuanian league right now. So at a very early age, I understood that I want to be there. I want to be in football in that team. So that one was my goal, and nobody could stop me. Right, as I remember, because in the beginning, my parents, they didn't let me to go to all trainings or games at the weekends, because I had to go with them to our, let's say, yard or outside the city. So, but that meant to me that much that they just couldn't resist, and they let me do my thing. So, of course, the basketball always been sport number one in our country, but for me, it was never an option. I tried to play basketball as all kids in Lithuania, but very soon I realized that my sport number one was football.
And good for football that we got you. And
that was a very easy choice.
Yeah, of course.
Very easy choice.
Yeah, but you tried basketball, yeah?
Yeah, I can play basketball, and every time when when you are in a professional team, no matter where, you have an occasion to do another sport. So even being in professional team, sometimes you play basketball, like we did in Spain, and I had much more abilities in basketball than other football players, because I know the game. I was in that game, so that was fun. Like some people say, "Oh, why didn't you choose basketball?" Because you are tall enough to be, let's say, playmaker in basketball. But for me, I can repeat, it was never the choice.
Yeah, but of course, and that's fair enough. And but maybe also because sometimes you if you practice other sport, even if it's not in a professional level, you can bring some skills also from the other sports to football, and that happens a lot.
Sure, agree on that. Agree on that. Even now, when the career is over, you can. Football has so much influence in other sports, and I think doesn't matter which sport you play, you are involved in. It can positively affect the other sport. Like now, I try to play tennis or golf, and I have those skills, like to catch the ball at the right timing. Like I speak about tennis, and the coaches say, "Oh, did you play tennis?" And I said, "I never played tennis." They say, "Do you have that approach? Like you calculate the drop of the ball better than people who never played a sport." So basically, athleticism, or let's say that physical activity, what we were doing all our lives, like being football players or basketball players or handball players, it has positive effect to other sports like tennis or volleyball or whatever else.
Sure, for sure, and we have those examples every time, even more. And for example, a coach that you know very well that is now in Benfica, is back in Benfica, Jorge Jesus, and he was one of the first ones on the way that the team defend the set pieces. He was looking for other sports, like in this case basketball, to do the blockage the way they do. So it takes ideas from other sports, and it's very important to have that interaction also. So in your head, it was always clear that you wanted to be a footballer. Nobody could move you away from that idea. And what about to be a striker? Have you ever played other positions, or always you've been always a striker?
I remember I started as a midfield player, and I was not bad at that position, because I had quite good view of the field. Like I have a long pass, and I could have give pass and isolate players if they were moving at the right time. So I could read the game. That's what my childhood coaches told me, like when I meet them, even nowadays, they say, you were such a good midfielder because you were finding holes to good passes to moving players. But at age probably 18, when I was in the best team of my country, the coach put me as a striker, and even I think I lack that quality of self promotion, like of self, let's say, egoism, which striker needs. I played all my life as a striker.
Okay, thank you for that answer. And one of the reasons that, of course, I always admire you inside, and like people that watch every week, they know that we invite always people that I admire inside and outside the pitch. And one thing was one reason that I would like to speak to you. I was always wondering, because I followed all your career pretty much, and one thing for me that was very interesting, and as a scout for me, that's also very important when I watch a player. I believe that you agree that, to start, I agree that you, despite the fact that you had a great career and the years at FC Porto were the golden years of your career. I believe that you agree. Of course, because of the titles, you had a brilliant career also in other clubs, but in FC Porto, obviously, were the golden years. For me, what is curious, it's that you were always had a preponderant role in that team, even if most of the times you were not starting on the first 11 in the starting lineup. You were many times coming from the bench. But what was the secret? Because most of the times that you were coming from the bench, you were scoring, or you were creating chances. You were coming with a big motivation. And I remind people that you were a player already with a reputation. You were coming from Benfica, and before you played for Real Sociedad. You were not a player that just come and it's just there. No. And you never created any problem. You were always there to help. So what was for you? What was the secret to keep that motivation, to come from the bench? And because it's not easy for any player to stay in the bench. All the players want to play, but you were so important as the ones that were inside, because without you, I would say, without you and Dimitri Alenichev, in my humble opinion, that were two players that were not all the time in the first lineup, but you were very experienced, and you were already players with a very good reputation. It was very important to have those players. So what was your secret, if you can share with us?
Well, there is no secret. I guess if you are the member of a team, of course you need to have those qualities, like humility, because you are one of 22 or 24, and you have to be proud of that, and your application has to be the same positive, the same. You have to give maximum, no matter you start at minute 1 or minute 89, and that's the way of thinking and the way of behaving I had all my life. And I don't know where it was inflicted in me, but I never thought that I have a right to disobey or to do not give my maximum at any level of a game or training. That's why, the training or the game, that was the best time of the day for me. So every training, I was preparing myself like for the game. And for me, it was no matter. I came in minute 1, minute 20, minute 60. I knew that I have to give it all, because I can have impact in the result. in a team's performance, and the goal was to win the game. And my goal was to play good, to give it all to the team. So that's why, what I mentioned you before, I probably lack that self promotion quality, like egoism. If I had a chance to shoot on the goal from, let's say, not the best position, or to give a good pass to the player besides me, which can score a goal, I would always choose to play ball to my colleague. And I think coaches admire that, but I never did that because coaches admire that those qualities. I thought that I have to work to play that way, because I have no right to do it worse than I can. And that's it. That's very simple. That's what I'm telling my players when I coach to teams, that you have to give it all, not for someone, like for coach, for a spectator, from your family. No, because it's your job, if you want to call it a job, which you love, and that's a very good job. Like, if you do what you love, you get paid for that. So what can be better? And of course, then you have those qualities, like a winner quality, fighter quality, to fight your fears, to agree that you are not a starter, as you mentioned, because there are many examples when player refuses to go on the pitch if he's not a starter, or he comes in and does not gives his best, which I never understood. If you are one of the 11 or 20, you are like them, so you have to do your best, because otherwise you let your teammates down, you let yourself down, you let your first coach, which probably inflict you love of the game, you let all them down, because I personally don't want to see a player I've worked with to behaving in that manner, that he's coming in at the end of the game and he's doing not his best, or he refuses to come in, which we also experience those cases, which are funny for me. Like, no matter what's your name, but who you are, to disobey the option of the coach. Because for me, it's very simple. Like, sometimes you think, why you are not playing? And I always have that answer. If I'm not playing, it's two options. Or you are not good enough, or there are better players, or you are part of the plan of the coach. Probably he's rotating the team, saving you for the next game. So you have no right to go to the coach and ask why I am not playing. So I never raised that question in any team I've been, and I would probably never advise a player I'm coaching to go and ask why he's not playing, because the answer can be very cruel and harsh. I would answer like, you are not good enough, because or other players better than you today, and that's probably your fault, because you're not good enough on training ground, which coaches are making their choices. If you're not good enough in a week's training, he's not picking you. But probably that's not the case, because you can work hard, like I did my whole life. Honest work on a training ground during the week, but sometimes you're not playing, you're not starting the games on the weekend, and that's okay, because as I said, 24 players, 22 players, many games, you will get your chance. And coach, smart coach, I had the luck to work with the good coaches, the best coaches in the world, smart people, good persons who can learn not only about football, but about living, about the rules of life, the rules of behaving in difficult situations. So every day you can take it as a lesson. and you know, normally coaches are older than players, so that's the occasion to learn. So we are not. We have no right to ask stupid questions like, why I'm not playing? I am better than he is. No, you can think that you are better, but he probably has more experience. He has his own vision. So that's it. Take it as a lesson, work hard, and chance will come.
Yeah. And sometimes it's only the system, it's only the characteristics of the player that fits. For example, in your case, it was you and Benny McCarthy. It doesn't mean that.
That's why the final of the Champions League, me and Benny McCarthy were sitting on the bench.
Yeah,
and we started the game without, let's say, without real striker, like without number 9.
Yeah.
And that's okay because coach chose that tactic, that lineup, because he thought that it would be best for the game against exact this team. That at the day was Monaco. And he was right.
That's the thing, but it's very hard, and you are a coach and you know better than me. It's very hard to find players with those characteristics in terms of personality. You know that they understand that the team comes first and the personal interests come second. Because if you achieve the things you achieve, it's all the group, you know. And it's of course like for Jose Mourinho at the time to have players like you or Alenichev, like I said. Can you imagine if Benny McCarthy doesn't play, you have Edgaras and he doesn't lose any quality, and you are there motivated. And if Deco doesn't play, you have Alenichev. So what a lucky one. And they don't create any problems if they don't play. So do you think it's also because you are a coach? Do you think it's also for a player it's easier? It was easier for you when you see that it is a fair choice, and if the coach is honest to you, you know, when there is communication with the coach, and you understand why the coach is doing it, you know, because it's nothing personal, you know, because sometimes you get coaches that they don't like you, they don't put you play when you deserve. And I believe in that case it's harder. But as a coach, do you believe it's important that you also to show to your players sometimes that they are important, but for the whole group, you know, they need to be prepared anytime, not just when they think they are important. So it's important to be fair, to feel that the coach is fair with the choices he's making.
No doubt, it's very important to build up that relation with every player of your team, which was the case of Jose Mourinho. He showed respect to every player, not only to, let's say, Deco, Bahia, Costinha, or Jorge Costa. No, because he was intelligent enough to understand that not 4 or 5 players resolve the game. You need 20 of them, and any of them can be decisive in some important game. That's why you have to show equal respect, equal. Well, it's difficult to have the same good relation with 24 players because it's not human to even in terms of time to spare that amount of time to talk to those 20 players. But it is very important. And I remember one example when I was in the beginning of my spell at Porto. I was not scoring probably 5 or 6 games, and I was feeling like I'm going down mentally. And Jose, he called me. He took me aside and he said, "How are you?" And I said, "Well, like I'm okay, because no of the players will tell you that now I'm losing my confidence because players scared to lose their place." So we thought I thought I cannot show my fragility. At the moment, I probably was vulnerable because I was losing my confidence. I could not score the goal for 6 games. And he said to me, "Look, how's your family?" I said, "Okay." "The salary is paid?" I said, "Yes." "It's okay, yeah." He said, "Don't worry. As long as you playing like you do, like you fighting for every ball, you are positive, you giving all, it's okay because you're doing your job." He said, some people, they see only numbers, like you score, you are good. You assist, you are good. But if you want 10 out of 12 air balls, they don't count that. He said, "I see that you're doing good. You are making our team stronger. So it's okay. You can go on without scoring goals, no matter. You play, you come in, a substitute you are the same important to me." And next game I came in against Lance, I remember, I scored the goal. So sometimes those 3-4 minute talks can lift you up.
Yeah.
So good coach, as Jose is, he can see, they can feel your vibes. They can see that you are losing it. Sometimes players, by losing confidence, try to show arrogance. But good coach can perceive that, can see that you are taking your shield as you're like arrogant, strong, but it's obvious you are fragile. You're losing it.
Yeah.
So then he has to step in. And I think Jose Mourinho did that very right in the beginning.
Yeah, that's very important, and maybe that's why it made you to be the player like you were at some point. That when the team needed a lot, and you were going warming up, it was almost like certain that you were coming in to score a goal. There was a stage. It was like important, like you were part of the team. You were like, okay, the team needs you. And what was your feeling to know you were like, I'm not going to let these guys down, I'm going there inside. And I believe at some point it was giving you, of course, pleasure to have that confidence that you were doing your job. You were more important, even if it was only 10 minutes, than to play 80 minutes and do nothing. But in those 10 minutes, you'll have the chance and you will score. And that happened several times. It didn't happen once or twice. It happened many times. Many victories that FC Porto had, it was because you scored the goal and you came from the bench. That's amazing, because you kept that attitude. You were not upset. You were not, and that's unbelievable. And I congratulate you for that. And because it's not for everyone, especially, like I said, for players that already had a career. Because many players, they reach a certain level and they think already they know everything. And you came to a club that, of course, FC Porto is a big club, Benfica is a big club, but you had a good career. You were international already, and you were not just a young player coming just to play sometimes. You were a player expecting to play all the time. It's normal. And I admired a lot that attitude, and I think Porto, in the end, all the team, everybody won because of that atmosphere that you all created inside the dressing room, and of course inside the pitch, that you trusted on each other. They were looking at you. They know Edgaras, when we need, is there. Deco, when we need, is there. Costin is there when we need. Jorge Costa is there. Each one was doing his part, even the ones that were not playing so much. So that was great for the ones that had a chance from our generations, and the youngest ones can go and check, because that's easy to check in these days, and that's very important, and also people to learn. That's why thank you for sharing your knowledge and that part also, because many players that are not we also have players watching, and to never give up, to understand sometimes it's not their moment to play. And then you go to another team, you play more, but maybe you score less, and these specific things. So what do you think, in your opinion? Of course, like the times changed also. You don't see, especially in the big teams, you don't see so many strikers, proper strikers, like with your characteristics, like it was before. Like you could watch players like Jardel, players, you know, like you don't see so many strikers. Football is changing, of course. Now the main, I believe, since probably Ronaldo and Messi changed a bit or a lot football in that sense, that the wingers are the top scorers in the teams, you know, not so much the strikers. So what characteristics do you think are the main ones for that are more important for a striker to have, mentally and then also physically?
Oh, sure. You have to be strong mentally. Yeah, I don't even speak about physical preparation for the high level football, but mentally you have to be strong. And I know many teams nowadays have psychological coaches at the team, on the team. Also, before probably we didn't have those psychologists on the team, but our coach did that job, did that part of the job, which is very important. As I told you a story a few minutes ago, those chats, those interventions at the needed moment are very important. I can rarely call it life changing, because 5 minutes of a talk can change your all approach, all application to the game, to the training session, to your importance for the team, because everybody wants to be important, no matter your starter, your sub, you scored, you're not, but everybody wants to be important. Of course, you have to deserve that right to be important. As I said, you have to work, you have to give it all, and you know, coaches, they are not blind, spectators, they are not blind, and nobody can forbid you to work hard when you come in, no matter for how many minutes. So that's why I had a beautiful relation with the Super Dragões, with the crowd of Porto, because they saw that when I come in, it doesn't matter what's the result, how much left. They knew that I'm gonna give it all. I cannot have a good day as well. I can miss, I can fail, but I will try. Nobody forbids me to try. That's the only thing that no one can have, let's say, control on you, because you can fight. That's on you. The rest, the surrounding, the circumstances cannot depend on you, but your application to the game, it depends on you. So you cannot say after game, the field was bad, the ball was bad, the weather bad. No, it's here, and when you go there and give it all, because you know you have to, people see it and they respect that, and they appreciate that.
For sure. Do you agree? Do you think that on both sides of the pitch, you know, both ends, like the goalkeeper and the striker probably are the ones that mentally need to be more strong? Because of course, a goalkeeper, if he makes a mistake, it costs points. You know, a striker that misses a goal, so they are judged by the numbers. Let's say, especially a striker, you know, and many times, for sure, I'm sure that in all your career you have matches that you didn't score and you played amazingly, you know, and some other matches maybe you didn't play so well and maybe you scored 2 or 3 goals, you know.
Yeah.
It happens, and of course in the end of the day the supporters want you only to score, but it's not fair, but it's natural. Also, we need to understand that people go by the numbers, but it's not only by the numbers. Do you think, as a goalkeeper also, but we are here to talk about the striker, do you think the mentality, it's very important in a way? Do you think the best strikers are the ones that you can miss a goal with open goal and you miss the goal, but you go and you get strength inside of yourself. You go inside of yourself and you get the strength to try again, and you not keep fear inside of you to fail, because it can happen, if you miss a goal, that is an easy goal, especially in a big competition, and you can go down mentally. But if you go inside of yourself, finding the strength, no, I keep trying, I'm doing well, it happened, mistakes happen. Do you think those ones are the best strikers, the ones that can get that extra mental part?
For sure. That's the difference between a very good striker and top striker. And when you see players like Ronaldo, or Messi, or let's say who scores a lot of goals, Lewandowski, Higuain, they miss a lot of goals. Like Ronaldo missed goals from 2 meters, like Lewandowski hit the post from 3 meters. So everybody misses. But the top strikers, you cannot notice on them. Of course, they have it. It hurts to them. They are disappointed. They are sad. They probably losing their confidence, but they have that quick recovery time.
Yeah.
So yes, it happened. It happened. It's bad. It hurts, but there's still a time, or let's say another game. So they managed to not be that much affected as others with the misses.
So do you agree that, for example, we used to say, like, when there is a defeat, the best way the champions want to do, like if you lose a game, you want to play the next game the next day if possible, or the same day. It's the same with a striker. If you miss a goal, the top strikers, they want another chance straight away. And maybe other striker is scared to have another chance to miss it again. So they. If Ronaldo misses a goal, you can see on him that he wants another chance and another one, until he scores. He's not happy, and that's for a striker. It's very important, of course. It's not only.
Sure. Ronaldo probably has more credibility, because when he misses the goal, he wants another chance.
Yeah.
And strikers, when they miss the goal, they scared first of all to be replaced.
Yeah.
Because there comes a very important piece of role of a coach. Because if you change or swap your striker after like stupid miss, you can break him. You can damage the player. If he's playing well, doing like giving his heart, his positive on the team, and he misses, and you take him out just because of that miss, that could be an error, a mistake. So smart coach will have his back, will give him another chance, will calm him down, because those words, they can mean a lot. They can change the whole picture. You can kill a player with 2 words. And on the opposite, you can erase it. You can, okay, it happened, no problem. Everybody fails, everybody makes mistakes. Go on. You will have another chance, and you will see he will bloom instead of you put him on the ground.
Yeah, completely. When, like I said to you, when I'm scouting, for example, a striker, there are 2 things that for me are very important. Is the mental part is essential, and like we are saying, it's important if the player makes a mistake or he misses a goal. If he wants again to assume and to have another chance, or if he tries to hide himself, some players, they try to hide themselves to not miss again. That's already shows. That's why scouting is so interesting. It's not only to look to a player that he have talent or not. And the other thing is also the supporters. Probably the strikers are the ones that, or they are on the supporters can put you up, or they can put you very down. And and your confidence, the support, especially in clubs that we are talking about with 30,000, 40,000 people in the stadium, playing Champions League, playing Europa League, playing for a national team, whatever, it can affect your confidence, what it comes from the stands. So it's very important, especially the striker, and I repeat, and the goalkeeper also, but the striker is very, very, very important. That's why I chose also this subject, because I believe that, like you said, some players, they try to show they are arrogant playing, but it's all fake. In my opinion, my humble opinion, for what I was always seeing on you never needed to show that part. You always been yourself with your own, we say with your own personality, and being yourself, going there, doing your best, being confident, not to pay too much attention to what the supporters think, and also to not be afraid to miss. And those two things together, plus the thing that you were training in the same way if you were in the starting lineup or not, that makes the complete package and what makes a player be so valuable. This is in my opinion. So sometimes it just that's everything in life, it's just you only need to be yourself, and if you have quality, and if you train well, and if you do the things right, of course the results will appear, and that's it. So let's go move on a bit also, because I believe everybody is curious, and I'm also about your coaching career, because I believe, first of all, I'd like to know when you started to think about being a coach, if it was any specific time you were still playing, it was any manager that you were looking and you admired, or more than one that you started, or even any manager that told you oh, maybe you will be a good coach, how it happened.
First of all, I wanted to be on the field. So when time comes to the end, for you as a player, there is another option to be a coach. And when I was finishing my career, I got a call from Jose Costeiro, great person. He took me as an assistant to Lokomotiv Moscow, and I learned a lot, and I understood, and I saw the things I would never imagine not being there. I surrounding behavior, pressure, what the stress the football can cause you, in reality. Because when you are a player, you of course you get a lot of pressure, and when you mention the crowd, like 30,000 against you, so it's tough to carry that on. But when you are a coach, like leading a figure of a team, it looks like it all falls on your head only when your team is not performing. And I didn't know that before, because I thought, what guilt coach can have if I'm playing bad, if I'm missing shots, if I'm losing tackles, duels, if I'm overrun by my opponent, what guilt can coach have? And suddenly I understood, because I saw some games were not successful because the players were too lazy, not ready mentally. So I said, wow. So what the amplitude of preparation has to be, like you have to prepare players not only physically, mentally, psychologically, but how can you get in those 24 heads before the game and know what they think, like what the emotional roller coaster they're going through. So that was like eye opener, and I admire Jose a lot, because I saw how how he managed those emotions being under pressure. It was not easy at the time, and you can see that even strong person can tremble a little at those moments. But as I said, that was a great experience. We had good spell, and I learned a lot. So I'm very thankful to our all coaching team, which was mainly made of Portuguese coaches. So just to repeat it, I had probably luck to work with all best Portuguese coaches of the century.
Yeah, not only coaches. I would like also to say and to send our. I believe that also your regards to a great friend we have in common. That was the person that was responsible to bring you to Portugal. If it wasn't him, we didn't have the chance and the pleasure to have you playing in here. That is António Simões. Great Antonio that I had a chance to interview also before. And Antonio, I know that you are going to watch, so hi from us. And if you want to say something also to Antonio, that is, I know he's a very important person for you.
As I said before, I was amazed by reception at the club and by the persons like Antonio, who took his time, which he was not forced to do, and he walked with me through the apartments. He showed me a city. He spoke to me. He's very intelligent. You can see he's full of life experience. He's seen, well, he's older than me, so obviously he has much more experience. So just to know those people, to have human contact with them, you can only be thankful. That's why, how many years, 20, 25 years gone, I still remember him. I still remember when he was going with me to Teleiras to show apartment, how friendly he was, how homey I felt since day one there. That's why when people say, you hate Benfica, how can I hate Benfica when I met person like António Simões or others at the club? I cannot. It's not fair to people who work for that flag. It's not fair. No matter I played for Porto, I admire Porto. I love Porto because it's a great club, good people, same as in Benfica. It's a great people. So for supporters or for people who was not lucky enough to be inside those clubs, those big, I don't know how you say it.
Structures or
structures. Let's say structures. The people who are working there, they make those clubs exceptional.
Yeah.
Those institutions are exceptional because of professionalism, on a human level. They made those clubs exceptional. That's why when you leave those clubs, you see, and you go somewhere else, you expect the same, but you will never find the same or something similar. When I went from Porto to Nice, I was shocked. I didn't know that. Yes, I was living in the best place in Europe, in the most beautiful place in Europe. But I was shocked by difference of professionalism, of human relation. It was like, sky and earth. It was black and white.
Yeah.
So then you understand why are people saying those good things about Porto, about President of Porto, because it's not like I want to flatter or brag. No, it's because it was like that.
Yeah.
Because it's good, because they know how to make those clubs great. Even sometimes the results are not the best because, well, it's a life. Life is not a line. Sometimes you're up, then you can be down. So by being down, you understand that people are not, when you are down, they try to help you, not to put you even more low. They try to help you. And when you come in as a new face, you don't know anyone, you have no friends, they appear, they are next to you, they help you, they talk to you, you feel the warmth, and then you can perform. That's why I was successful in Benfica, and probably I would be even more successful if I continue there. You never know, but just because of that, because I was feeling good, I had confidence of a coach, people were friendly, so those things count.
Of course, and it's interesting for people that are, of course, not from Portugal, that Edgaras, you played for Benfica and Porto, but both supporters like you, and you are not. It's not because you went to FC Porto that you are not respected by Benfica supporters, because you are, and you also. It's normal, you know, the way it was, and you are a professional, and everybody admires you in here because of your way. And for the great Antonio Simões. So just to say that is that kind of people that keep us, gives us a lesson and then make us love football, love the sport, and also they teach us also in the human part, and also in life. They give us a lesson every day that we speak to them, because they are, you know, their attitude is everything. They could be like. They could have a different attitude, but no, they are humble, and they are always there to help and to share the knowledge, and that's what football needs. So let's move on. Otherwise, we are almost reaching our time, and then Ricardo is gonna tell me off that because it's always interesting. Well, he asks me interesting people, so I bring always interesting people. So it's normal that we spend a bit more time talking, you know. So you decided to start your coaching career as assistant coach, not as a main coach. You started in Russia, yeah, for Lokomotiv, and then you moved to Scotland, to Hearts, and then after that you decide to be a head coach. So do you think it's also you being honest with yourself? Because many people think that because you are a professional top level footballer, you are automatically ready to be a coach, and we know that is not true. So do you think you've been honest with yourself and you thought, no, this is a different position, I need also to learn, I need to adapt, I need first to have this experience, and then when I'm ready, I give the next step. So do you think it's important also to have that transition? Of course, sometimes it doesn't happen. We see many, especially in these days, you see coaches, they never coached, or they finish the career and straight away they are in a big team. But do you think it helped you to be assistant first and then to be the head coach after, or not?
First of all, I have to tell that it's a learning process through all your life. Nobody will ever be ready to be a coach, I guess, because it's a profession where there is no book written how to be a coach, because you interact with different people every day. You interact with different mood of the people. You are depending on the results, on the relationship with your superiors, with fans, with the media. So there are no written rules how to behave. Otherwise, that would be simple. You read, you learn, and you can be a coach. No. So you have to go through and have it through your skin by experience. So the longer coach works, the better he becomes, because he faces different situations. He experiences losses. He experiences consequences after mistakes. He is accused. He is insulted. So you develop qualities which, in the beginning, you can even imagine that you have or you have not. But if you have not, you will not go on for long, because it's a really cruel job. So that's why the longer you are coaching, more you admire those coaches who are working for 20 years, 30 years. So you're just imagining what they were going through, their career, the thickness of their skin, because to survive that amount of pressure, working on at a higher level, it's something, I can tell you. So and being assistant, I guess so. To start with, you have to. It's the best way to start, because you have an example in front of you every day, which you can follow. Or if you don't want to follow, you just take that information and you highlight things you want to take to yourself, or things you think are not working well for the team, which is very important. So when I when I have a time, sometimes I rethink about all my coaches and qualities good qualities they had, and qualities they had which I don't want to have it, because I didn't agree on that. I didn't want to be like they were, despite they were great coaches, but they are not perfect. Nobody is perfect.
Yeah.
You remember the moments they react the way you wouldn't, or the way they shouldn't, in your opinion, and that's how you build your own personality, probably by reading as well, reading books, which is very important as well, psychological part, the mental part. So it's a long time, let's say, lifetime process.
Yeah, exactly. It said everything with that, and I agree completely. It's always to look to be better and work hard. And I just want to mention that we had some questions in here from Awad and also Omar and other questions, but Edgaras already answered and already asked those questions. But thank you guys, and thank you for being watching and for making those questions. So just we are almost finishing, and what was the feeling that to represent your country as a player and also as a coach? And because as a player, I believe as a coach you have the feeling more than you can contribute a bit more, because you are contributing not only for that generation, also for the other generations. You are more in control of the football. But in your opinion, how it was, for sure it's an amazing feeling. And do you think there is a different profile for a coach for a club and for a coach for a national team? Of course it can be adapted, but of course the workflow is completely different, like in a national team or a club is completely different, the work. And which one do you think you identify yourself more? It's to coach a club or to coach a national team?
To start with, to coach you cannot coach national team. You can be you have to select players for the game, and then you have 2, maximum 3 days for preparation before the game. So once I spoke to Fernando Gomez, Fernando Santos, sorry, the coach of national Portuguese team, and he said, we are, and they are called seleccionador, no? They select, they're not coaching. So they select, and that's a difference. What players you can select, what bullets you have in your, let's say, gun. So no complaints, but if you know a little bit about the level of Lithuanian football and the league we were playing in, like Nations League with Romania, Montenegro, England, and Scotland. So in every game we were underdogs because there are no country left in the world, probably, except who's below 130, those islands, or I don't know, Tonga or whatever, Maldive Islands. So the rest is above us. The rest have better leagues, better players. So when we had the games against England or Scotland or Slovenia, Slovakia team, where most of the players were playing in the best leagues of the world, of Europe, like Italy, Germany, Spain, England. That was quite a challenge to prepare my players mentally, because we knew they are better. I once I tried to lie to them, like telling they are the same. They are the same human beings as you are. You are not worse than them. But this trick does not work, I tell you, because you cannot lie to a player. You can support him. You can calm it down, try to motivate, or a little bit demotivate before big games, because it depends on profile of your player, because he can burn out easily before an important game, which happened a lot in my time with national team. Imagine you are playing in Lithuanian league with 200 spectators, where the rhythm of the game is, well, one speed only, and then you face England national team, players from Manchester United, Chelsea, Tottenham, Liverpool, Man City. How can I tell them they are the same? And then we step on the Wembley, and you see that they all are faster, better technically, stronger physically. And you see that, well, you can give them a war, as I told them, like, do your best. No problem about the end of the game, about the result. Just do your best. Try. Don't scare, don't burn out before the game. That was my goal of preparation, that they would not burn before the game, because you can lose the game before. I know I had it in my experience. When you start to play your game 2 days before and you waste your energy, and when referee whistles start of a game, your tank is half empty, because you wasted your energy by thinking, rethinking, by ruminating about what did not happen yet. So as I said, I try to tell them once, you are the same, like, no problem. They cannot beat you because we are equal. No, that's not true. Because at minute like 50, we were out of the gas completely. Our even the mode of running, the motoric part of the body of the players was changed, because they were exhausted. They gave it all. I had the stats of running distance, of speed, of accelerations, and that was unhuman. That was not normal to them, because they not experienced that before. Because Lithuanian league or leagues where they are playing, like Poland, Kazakhstan, what else, Latvia, whatever, low leagues, they were not experienced that not even once a year. And then you face those teams which you have to follow. Like, if the player running past you, you have to follow him. So at minutes like 50, 60, we were physically dead, like exhausted, with cramps, with dizziness, losing I don't know, the your body parts were not functioning properly, because you were exhausted, and you can only change 3 players. So the end of the game always been tragic to us, because if I could not be angry at those players because they were giving all, and that was simply not enough, because it's normal, it's human. And I mentioned that when we spoke in those press conferences after a game, because it's normal. I'm not a good loser, but when we lose the game against stronger team, what can you say? It's not an excuse. I said they were better, and it's normal. Don't write bad things about those players, because they gave it all. They gave it maximum. They cannot give it more. They cannot play better than player playing in Italy. I remember at my time when I was coming from Porto and I had to face players playing in the Lithuanian league. That was easy for me, but that was normal. How can you beat me if you're every week playing at lower league and I'm playing in good league, in Champions League or UEFA Cup? It's not normal. It's normal. The process in life. You are at a better league with better partners on the pitch every day, so you are better. You are stronger, faster, quicker, and that's normal. Well, 11 against 11, those players, they cannot match them for 90 minutes. You can match them for 30 minutes if you find those resources in you. You give it all, but at some point you will run out of the gas.
Yeah.
So that was a good experience, learning experience, that I knew sometimes from loss you can take more positive things than after easy winning game. So I think we did well what we can at that point, having in account those circumstances.
Yeah. So to finish, so I think you did great for your country, and especially, like I said, also they can see if you made it, they can also make it, because they come from the same country, same place. You also show them that you are a great example for them on the behavior and also in the coaching part, of course. And it's a process. We know that a national team, it doesn't grow from one day to the other. It's a big structure coming from the youth teams to the big teams. So yeah, thank you very much, Edgaras. It has been a great pleasure to see you, to talking to you. Thank you for sharing your knowledge, for everything, and thank you guys for being watching. And you can watch again, or you can send to your friends. It's on our social media, on Facebook, also on YouTube. You can watch. And thank you again for all of you. And I hope you enjoyed it, Edgaras. And all the best for you. And hopefully you come back to football as soon as you can and enjoy your holiday.
Thank you, Nuno.
Thank you very much.
Obrigado.
Bye. Obrigado.